We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. This is Abe, your host. Man, it's been kind of a eventful past 3 days. So 3 days ago, I went to work, and on my first break, Sammy calls. She's like, your car's fucked. And first thing that I thought was, oh man, she got in a wreck, which we have 2 cars. Thankfully, she works literally like she walks to work because she works at a gas station and we live right behind it. Like I could throw a rock and hit the building. But so we do have a backup car, but I guess the car basically just died in the parking lot. It would not turn over again, and then it started rolling, so she pulled the e-brake on it. Got a ride home. We got it towed up there. We had to wait. We had to wait because I think it was like a Saturday or a Sunday night. And towing, we don't have AAA. Towing cost extra on weekends. So basically, we waited till Monday, had it towed Monday. Today is Wednesday. So we got it to the shop. They got the part. $465, I think it was. So that kind of sucks. It was a cable, like a gear shift cable or something like that. It's like a little 97 Pontiac. So that happened. Then the next day, I thought I had off, so I'm sleeping away, which we were actually going to go hiking earlier that day, but I just did not feel good. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't go hiking because I got a call at like 10 o'clock that night. You're on the schedule. I'm like, what? Here's the thing, I checked the schedule earlier that week, and I was not on the schedule. And apparently, the schedule had been changed. There was literally 2 different schedules with the same dates on there. And I didn't get the memo. So, here I am not feeling good. I'm already going to be an hour late to work. I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking go. Like, this fucking sucks. Because I live an hour away, And I don't know how it is for you all, but when you wake up straight out of bed, expecting to have the day off, and you haven't had a cup of coffee, you haven't had a morning cigarette, and they're like, oh, you're late for work, like you're supposed to be here. That shit fucking sucks, man. So, went to work, did that. Then yesterday, I stayed up for a bug dude to come to the house, and they gave us a letter in the mail and stuff of basically that this bug guy will come and spray the house once a month. And I don't know, like in the letter it said that they're going to inspect the house and make sure it's clean. So poor Sammy, she's been cleaning the hell out of the house. I mean, it looks amazing. But I don't know. I don't like that shit, man. People snooping around my house, like inspecting it to make sure it's clean and shit once a month. So like, I work third, so I got home. I had to stay up as much as I could. I had to sleep in the living room in a chair so that way I could hear the door, because we don't have a doorbell. Hear the door get knocked on. And honestly, the dude was super cool about it. He literally came in. He's like, hey, I'm the bug dude. And he's like, all I do is I spray the kitchen unless you want me to spray the rest of the house. I'm not going to snoop around because we respect people's privacy. But I do work for the landlord. I just, I was like, all right, cool. He's like, you want me to spray the rest of the house? I'm like, nope. Not that I have anything to hide, but I thought it was cool. He was like, look, I'm not here to like snoop around, unless like your house is like filthy. I'm pretty sure like he's cool as hell. So I was like, awesome. Because I was expecting, we have this other dude that works here. He's a maintenance guy. His name's Bob. And he just walks in people's houses without giving them a 24-hour notice. He'll sit there. He got kind of, I don't know, he had a staring contest with me one day because I drove into the parking lot and I wasn't even driving that fast, but I guess he thought it was too fast, so he decided to stare me down as I went into the house. I just like waved at him like, what's up? But yeah, they so I got a call though the day of that the bug dude coming by. So I was like, I missed the call and it was from the mechanic. And I don't know, I was worried. I was like, dude, I'm already paying almost $500. I don't know if this is just me, but every single time I take not every single time, but 90% of the time I take a car to the shop, I feel like I'm going in there for one thing, and while they're taking care of that one thing, they find 3 or 4 other things wrong with it. And that's what I was worried about. So I'm like, fuck. But I called him this morning. It's just that one thing. It's ready to go. So I'm happy to get 2 vehicles back on the road again. But that's it for an update. Today we are covering breaking news. I try to keep up with the news as much as possible, and I felt like this one was long enough to make an episode out of. So we're covering the Parmesan King, or the Parmesan Prince, I should say. Corn Pop is king. Parmesan Prince. Apparently, Hunter Biden, the famous crackhead, has been texting some crazy shit, and it got leaked, I guess, through his laptop or somehow. I don't know how it got leaked. I'm not positive on all the details, so we're going to read his text, and there's a little article I found that's non-biased. I think it was RT. We're going to check it out. But I heard some of the text messages and stuff, and I ain't going to lie, some of it, he does have a funny sense of humor. Like, I couldn't help but laugh. So, we'll check out today's news. All right. So here's the thing. I would have covered the laptop when it all came out, but if you guys do not know, this is my second YouTube channel. My first one kept getting strikes out the wazoo, and I couldn't risk that shit. You can actually look at the footage of what's on Hunter Biden's laptop. It's called a website called GVA, I believe is what it is. It's a Chinese, kind of like a YouTube. That's up to you if you want to go check that out. Now, here's my personal belief, is that kind of like with the Epstein case. Remember how when Epstein got arrested, they mentioned all the, you know, child trafficking and all that, but they never mentioned the temple on the island. They never wanted to bring in the whole occult side of it. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, they talked about the laptop on how there was crack use and prostitutes, but they didn't ever want to talk on mainstream about how there was child pedophilia on there and him partaking in child pedophilia. So I think, honestly, this story probably is a distraction, but I can't help but shit on shitty people. And I did find this humorous, and I wanted to share it with you all. Now, this is the article from RT. I know they're Russian, but I've always thought they put out good stuff, better than Fox and CNN. I think, honestly, the whole Russia is our enemy is kind of like something like almost Red Scare-ish that we've been like indoctrinated into believing in school, American quote unquote education system. I think it's an indoctrination system, but but yeah, to me they've always put out good info, and I'll share it with you. Hunter Biden used N-word in messages with his lawyer, even sexted him by accident. President Joe Biden's son Hunter repeatedly used a racial slur for African Americans in text messages with lawyer George Messiers. The Daily Mail reported, citing the contents of his laptop abandoned in a Delaware repair shop, "How much money do I owe you? Because N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates," Biden texted Messiers on December 13, 2018, explaining that he just made up that phrase. A bill from October that year showed that Messiers charged $845 an hour, the UK tabloid reported. After a few more lines of banter, apparently insulting Messiers' lineage, Biden adds, "That's what I'm saying, N-word," seemingly cutting off the racial slur mid-word before following it up with a photo. While the Daily Mail has not been able to obtain the picture, it is clear that it was sexually explicit. "Why are you so tan?" Messier replies, to which Biden responds, "I'm sorry for texting you accidentally. That was meant for another friend named Georgia." Hunter Biden's shocking N-word text. Okay, hang on. Now we are going to read the actual text verbatim. In another exchange from January 2019, Messier tells Biden that he and God are his proxies for unconditional love. Hunter Biden's response is to talk about his penis and say, "And I only love you because you're black." I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of funny. Messiers, who is not black, responds with, "It's annoying when you interject with frivolity," meaning frivolous. "True dat, N-word, but I'm done my rant," Biden says. 3 months later, his father Joe announced he was running for the Democratic presidential nomination. Any criticism of Hunter, from his involvement with the Ukrainian gas company Burisma, or business deals with China to the laptop discovered at a Delaware repair shop and turned over to the FBI, that was your big mistake right there. It drives me nuts, man, looking at these comment sections of, "Oh man, they need to turn that over to the FBI." Okay. My dad went down by the FBI. Do you know why my dad went down by the FBI? Because he was low on the pyramid. They do not get these people who are higher up on the pyramid. Yes, there's good people in the FBI, and yes, there's bad people in the FBI. Do you know how many cops died after they viewed Anthony Weiner's laptop? How come we've never heard anything else happen about Anthony Weiner's laptop? Because I think it was like 12 cops viewed, and I could be wrong on the exact numbers, but I believe it was something like 12 New York police officers viewed Anthony Weiner's laptop, which was so disgusting, by the way, that they needed actual psychological help. Many of them, after viewing the videos on his laptop, literally ran out of the room vomiting. That's how disgusting and vile they were. Where the Frazzle Drip video was found. I did a whole episode on the whole Frazzle Drip video. Yeah, and nothing has happened. I mean, that happened in 2019, I think, is when I heard about it. And it's 2021. So, nice guys finish last, and evil wins. I mean, I'm sorry, but nothing has happened about it. I haven't heard anything about it. 9 police officers died mysteriously. Same thing's going to happen with Hunter. I mean, there was child pedophilia on that laptop. Nothing's going to happen, though. He's Joseph Biden's son. Nothing's going to happen. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see. So they turned it into the FBI, and later the media was dismissed by the Biden campaign as lies and even Russian disinformation. Well, that's funny because you can literally find it on a Chinese website. So wouldn't it be, oh, wait, yeah, that's right, the Bidens are tied in with China. Never mind. Of course it would be Russian. The New York Post story about the laptop even got the newspaper censored on social media prior to the election. Once Biden was in White House, however, Hunter admitted the laptop could be his, but also said it could have been stolen or hacked by Russian intelligence. Dun dun dun. Well, then why are the Chinese putting it out? Or could it be that Hunter is in bed with China and he didn't pay his dues, so they released it on GVA.com? Huh, maybe. The Daily Mail said in April that it had confirmed the contents of the laptop hard drive as authentic, including the photos of Hunter's drug use, cavorting with prostitutes, and pornography. A copy of the hard drive in the possession of Rudy Giuliani, the lawyer for former President Donald Trump. By the way, I don't trust Giuliani as far as I could throw him. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty damn positive in my belief system that he was part of 9/11 and making those towers fall. Hence why I don't think that's why Trump ever released or did an actual investigation on 9/11 like he said he would when he first ran in 2016. Or has everyone forgotten that? Was reportedly the only thing not seized by the FBI during a raid on his New York apartment at the end of April. In October 2019, months after the exchanges, Mezires authored a statement on behalf of Biden arguing that his business dealings in China and Ukraine were legitimate. Why is it every single time we say something is a conspiracy, it comes out? And like we've been talking about this for a year. Not that RT is accepted as mainstream news. So for all I know, this video could get shut down for misinformation. According to Mezires, it was former Polish President Aleksander, all right, this is Polish, so Kwasniewski, a leading advocate of democratic principles in the region, who recommended Hunter for the board of Burisma in April 2014. This was just 2 months after the Western-backed-up coup in Ukraine and Crimea's decision to join Russia. and while Joe Biden was Barack Obama's vice president. Hunter Biden resigned from Burisma in April 2019 when his father announced his bid for presidency. While the Daily Mail speculated that Biden's use of the racial slur might be embarrassing to his father's administration, which has subordinated everything to the cause of racial equity, none of the previous revelations from the laptop have had any effect. Though multiple media figures have been canceled for using slurs in the past, in some cases, even way back to high school, it remains likely that the president's son was literally given a pass. That's not surprising. Like I said, nothing will happen. Now let me find the actual emails so we can read them verbatim. Give me just a second. Sorry, not emails, text messages. Alright, so here's one of the texts. God loves unconditionally, Bo. God loves you unconditionally. Children are too young to understand what it means, but you will show them. Oh my God. Okay, hang on. God loves unconditionally. Bo loves you unconditionally. So this must be Biden. Children are too young to understand what it means, but you will show them. That's creepy. Talking about pedophilia. There are ideals of unconditional love that serve as proxies. I don't have many. You, God. Or no, that's the lawyer saying that. Okay. So the lawyer's calling him a pedo. Oh my God, N-word. Did you just a fictional character from the imagination of the collective frightened, and my dead brother's unconditional love is what I should rely on, and my kids aren't children, George. Oh shit, you too. How much money do I owe you? Because N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates. And then the lawyer responded, that made me snarf my coffee. Kind of like, I guess, the dude from Thundercats. Snarf, snarf, snarf. It's so annoying when you interject with frivolity. True that, N-word. But I'm done my rant. Let's see. The way they got this set up. We will always be searching, says the lawyer. To be serious for one more minute, my true and beautiful friend, the search is over when you finally realize that the unconditional love you give is the end of the search. The love we give without condition is the reward in and of itself when you can say without exception that your love is. Dude, this is like, you could tell this is a dude on fucking drugs, man. Let me see if they have any more. I think that's it, though. Yep, that's it. And I clicked on where you can actually pull up the text, but I don't know. Like, I feel like we're just dealing with crazy people sometimes, you know? Could just be me, I guess, but at least I do have to say, though, this is why, I don't know, I don't really think, these people are reptilians. Because I know you hear like David Icke and stuff, and I love David Icke. He puts out a lot of good information, and he can believe what he wants with the whole reptilian thing. But a lot of people are like, oh, the elite, they're reptilians. I do have to say, as sick as like these people are, like some of those text messages were goofy, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like some of that shit was funny. But I think honestly, like as someone who used to party, I mean, I was a classy broad. I made a rule I would never touch crack, meth, heroin. Those were like the three things that I never played with. So I was a classy broad, you know. But yeah, reptilians, man, they don't have a sense of humor, and I don't know. This dude actually, as dark as it is, some of it was funny and goofy, But I mean, it could have been the crack talking. Um, and why I called him the Parmesan Prince, apparently he has a book out now. He wrote a book. He's clean and sober. I think it was like he was on Jimmy Kimmel, uh, who gave him like this easy pass in the interview. It's a despicable interview. Imagine if that would have been like any of the Trump kids. Like the media would have tore them a new freaking a-hole. But no, if you're a Biden, you're all good. You could say whatever you want. You could sniff kids. You could mumble and talk out of your head like you're not a functioning human being, and apparently you can just do whatever you want, man, and you get a pass, But if you're a Trump, no. But I realize, the world is a stage. They're not reptilians because reptilians only use the left side of their brain. They don't really have creativity or honestly, they don't even really have a sense of humor. That's why I don't think they're reptiles because or at least I don't know. Hunter Biden's not a reptile. Um, because honestly, most of the other politicians never really had a good sense of humor. Most of them were just they try to be funny, and then you're just like, I don't. You're so out of touch, man. You guys are so out of touch. I mean, I feel like Trump was funny every now and then. George Bush was only funny because he's a stuttering Stanley goofball, and I mean he's a war criminal, a POS. That should be executed for crimes against humanity. But I think the only reason he was funny because it was funny to laugh at him, not with him. I guess I should say. But I do like to leave on a good note, and I used to do this just because if we ever had time, I would try to give you guys something good to leave on a good note. I used to do a saint of the day, and it kind of tells a little short story of a saint and kind of leaves you on a good note and gives you good advice. Today is June 9th, and kind of leaves you upbeat because a lot of this stuff is dark and creepy and horrible, and Washington, D.C. is a cesspool. So, June 9th, the saint of the day is Saint Ephraim of Syria. It's hard to imagine a church service without singing, from cathedrals to chapels. Music is an integral part of the celebration. More than that, hymns infuse religious teachings into our very being. Take that most popular of all hymns, Amazing Grace. Few stories of conversion have been told as succulently or as enduringly as the words of the one-time slaver and sea captain John Newton. Using hymns as a means to educate and instruct didn't begin in Newton's time. Saint Ephraim of Syria, who lived in the 4th century, would take the songs being sung by splinter and heretical groups and rewrite the lyrics to reflect accurate doctrine. In addition, he was one of the first to compose songs for the church's official worship. He wrote so many hymns that he is sometimes called the harp of the Holy Spirit. Over the centuries, many glorious pieces of music have been composed to honor and glorify God, although they can be enjoyed merely for their aesthetic pleasure. They can also be used as a means to enhance your prayer life. If you have a favorite composition, perhaps Handel's Messiah or Mozart's Requiem, that is based on a religious theme, why not let it fill the empty places in your soul? As Thomas Campion once said, heaven is music. What kinds of music do I like to listen to? do I have a favorite kind of music? I appreciate all kinds of music. And that's the saint of today, June 9th, 2021. I hope you all have a good day. I hope this was at least humorous, informative, and I'll catch y'all later.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.